we're cooking. It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks very much. Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading the charge will be their quarterback. Always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
Brandon, it's always nice when you get recognized with an individual award. And he was the AFC Offensive Player of the Week last week, but when you do it in a win, so much the better.
Absolutely, and he was all talking about that win, not so much the award he received on Wednesday.
That's a nice-looking award. I wonder if he took it home, got in the car, showed it off to the kids in the neighborhood, and passed it around. What would he do?
Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Houston. Kenny Stills. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Wow, first play in the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the former Louisville Cardinal, Teddy Bridgewater.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent, too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Bridgewater. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Throwing is Bridgewater.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The sack there by J.J. Watt. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Check. Lucky.
On play action, it's Bridgewater. And his throw here's incomplete. Bradley Roby there defensively.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And with that last field goal, that puts him now at 300 made on his career, and that is something to celebrate.
And that puts him in the top 30 all time. So he's really made a mark, and he's got plenty of life left in that leg, that's for sure.
And here comes the Texans now. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
Yeah, I feel a little bad here because we missed out talking about these guys on the opening drive because they were in the end zone before we had a chance to even say anything. But let's keep an eye on these wideouts. QB already has 1 touchdown pass. You know he's looking for a few more before this one's over. Those wideouts will get plenty of opportunities to try and score again.
And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. 1st month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at 45. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. 1st down, here's the run with Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 39-yard line.
Hey, we got 4 down. Check.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Check out route.
First down, Bridgewater. And he hits Drake. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Prater for the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. That's fielded in the end zone, and they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football. And they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Wright's got it.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Johnson running right. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Cook following the penalty. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Bridgewater. This is caught inside the 15. 33 yards that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Bridgewater to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response.
Put that team on the clock. Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here.
From the gun, Bridgewater. And he's going to go down again. Kyle Van Noy. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. On 3rd down, Johnson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Bridgewater. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. With them losing here in the 2nd quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts, one of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him.
Hey, what's that? Good team! Go, go, go!
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson, that's Stills bringing it in. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On 2nd and goal, Watson. He's got Jack Doyle. Just a gain of a yard in what all likelihood will be the final play of the first half. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, where you see the final score there. Kyle Allen, sharp in the victory, as his guys bounce back from a tough start to the year to claim victory number 1. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Oakland. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Denver Broncos. Derek Carr leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting New Orleans Saints. 28-10, the final. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast.